smoother flow of communications, because if it's a medical call in Reno, that call has to get to TCRC, Tarrant County Regional Communications Center in Everman, and it has to get to Parker County Fire and EMS Alarm, which is the dispatch that we're at, to get the ambulance over here. So overall, I really feel like that would be a better information flow and quicker call processing times. We also have automated dispatch now, which dramatically cuts down on call processing times. As soon as the dispatcher is able to obtain the address and general incident type, the call is pushed out via the automated dispatch, and then they're able to continue their call taking and follow up with supplemental info. So we've seen a reduction in response times or shoot times of about 35 to 40 seconds since we've gone over to that system. That's very new, so we're still evaluating that data, but we have seen improvement. So in the context of your question, can you provide 100% assurance that the night immediately after service ends, any 911 call placed from Reno will be routed correctly and responded without delay? That's really contingent on the implementation of that at the PSAP level, which is either ran by the 3 respective sheriff's offices. But they do those things, they handle those hundreds of calls a day. And so that's a process rule that has to be implemented. It shouldn't be a huge undertaking, I would not think at all. As to the service gap, and I think it's important to note here, lawfully we cannot, nor do we, take any position on the ballot measure for May regarding the city. That may be what inspired citizens to bring forth a petition. We've been through 7 annexations over the last several years, and it's kind of a routine process as the county has been growing for us to be dealing with annexation and expanding services and that kind of thing. So it is not our intent to take a side on that one way or the other, and all the social media that's out there and everything, we have not taken a side on that at all, nor do we want to get involved really in the back and forth. We'd rather just put out facts so that you citizens can make informed decisions. That's our responsibility to you as a tax authority and as public servants. So to that question about what about the interim, I don't know the specifics of the contract between the city of Reno and Reno Fire Department. I don't know how that's paid, if it's monthly, quarterly, annually. I would expect, being familiar with running a tax organization, that the ad valorem taxes that support that contract are all already paid, in December, January. So I don't know if, if there's the financial wherewithal that funds the fire department through the end of the fiscal year or not. That would be a question for them. We held a contract for several years for the Nob Hill corridor, and that goes back long before my time here. So it was just a pocket of area up there that was not in any ESD, so the county was paying us a contract to protect it. And ultimately the county was like, you're kind of the only unincorporated community left in Parker County, or area in Parker County that's not in someone's emergency services district. So the citizens petitioned up there to join the district. The county could, and I cannot speak for the county commissioner's court, nor can I speak for this governing body, but the county could, and I think in the interest of life and safety, probably would, but again, I can't speak on behalf of them, seek to contract with us to provide those interim services if it came down to that. I think we certainly would be amenable to that at the end of the day. We certainly want to take care of the citizens. That's why we're all here in the first place. So I guess my answer to that question is that can be worked out. That would be a decision for the 2 governing bodies ultimately to do. I can't personally guarantee that, but we have done it in the past. We maintained that for several years until the area did annex into the existing market. So, and there was, to my knowledge anyway, and well, I can speak for the last 14 years, there was never a lapse in response or coverage up there. I don't know prior to me being here, but I don't think that there was. think, that I have answered all of the questions here. Bear with me while I look through the notes.
I have a couple more if you are open to it.
I'm open to it if the chair's okay with it.
Is that okay?
Sure.
Okay. Can you explain the call priorities and how you respond to them? Like priority 1, 2, 3, and what your policy is for responding code to what
Sure.
level of call?
So for emergency medical incidents, we follow the call priorities of Park County Hospital District. Whatever's their ProQA process, which you're probably familiar with that, or emergency medical dispatch process. Whatever priority they assign it, we run typically on that same priority as it's dispatched. Pretty much everything else for us is an emergency response unless it's a low acuity call, like a public assist type call. But anything that's a fire or a hazardous condition or a vehicle accident, we treat as an emergency response.
So on the public assist, would you consider that a priority 3 type call and not respond code to that? Like what's your
Typically,
response?
like, hey, I locked myself out of my house, can you come help me get in? Like that kind of a public assist call. We have a nature code in our dispatch system for an emergent vehicle unlock. Say it's 100 degrees outside and, hey, 911, I locked my kid in the car and I can't get in. That would be classified as an emergency response.
Do you have the fire marshal's office currently?
So we currently administrate the fire code on behalf of the city of Aledo. And we have personnel on staff that fulfill that function. We do not have what you would call a fire marshal's office because we're not a municipality and we currently haven't adopted a fire code for the unincorporated areas of the county. But we do have personnel on staff that are able to administrate the municipal fire code. And we do that.
So the personnel on
behalf of the
staff,
city.
they're the ones who enforce fire code or would be enforcing fire code?
Correct. And that's really in the case of a municipality, that falls on the municipality on how they wanna execute the administration of their fire code. Springtown uses a combination of in-house staff and Bureau Veritas, which is a third-party life plan review and inspection company. Willow Park has personnel on staff, and they run their own fire marshal's office. And then Aledo sought to do an interlocal with us. So,
And Chief, if I may, we would probably, if that came to be, we would probably do an interlocal agreement depending on how you want to do it.
because as long as the city still exists,
Right.
the district doesn't have oversight over that municipal fire code. But if the city, wanted the district to administrate the fire code on its behalf, that could be done through an interlocal agreement.
I have one more question. What made you decide now to come into Reno for ESD, wanted to take over the Reno area? Why not have done it sooner?
I didn't decide that, the citizens decided that. I'm not in control of that, and I couldn't
So
petition
it
that.
didn't
if
come
I
up
wanted.
until like the other petition came up and that's when it was decided?
Again, I didn't decide that, the citizens in the community of Reno are the ones that petitioned to join.
We were presented a petition by citizens.
And we have to go through this process once the petition is granted. It has to be granted.
We don't actively put a petition out there. It was presented to us.
May I ask a question, follow-up? Just one?
Yes.
You said I'm concerned, I call my farmer's insurance agency and they said if I'm an ISO 10, they're gonna drop me, flat out.
Sure.
I'm concerned, you said we can get a temporary shelter up there pretty soon. Can you give me more clarity?
Well, so the petition was brought to us February 17th, so a little over a month ago. We've got a lot of time between now and November. If the election is ordered, then it would then be my job to go look into potential properties and secure how we could execute that. We've got a lot of time between now and then, and I get that that's definitely a priority. And it's a priority both on the insurance side and the tactical response side, right? That's a priority for us. So we would have to I can't tell you, hey, this property at 123 Street is what we're gonna use. Ideally, something could be worked out with the Reno Fire Department. But if they're not amenable to that, then we have to go find a property for a temporary facility. The hardest piece is the property, right? The facilities part can happen in really short order, and we've already got the equipment and the personnel to make it happen. So, and if an election is ordered and, you know, moving through the summer, we typically would have a town hall meeting to cover questions like this again, and could definitely have, more information for you, but that's the method by which we would have to provide services to protect against that. And that's a very valid question, and something that, I feel confident that we would handle and take care of to prevent a lapse.
Okay, is there anyone else that has any public comment?
Can I just address this again? It was me and Joy Jenkins that went and got the 69 signatures. We're the ones who gave the petitions to Mr. Watson the day of the hearing over in Weatherford. Thank you.
Thank you for that. All right. It's now 11:12. We will end the public comment section, and at this time, the Board of Commissioners will convene an executive session under Texas Local Government Code 551.071, consultation with attorney.